select where you can like
some kind of non-combat option as a way to interact with the enemies. And if you do the right sequence of these, then it will affect the enemy in a way that you can spare them or flee the fight.
Right, exactly. So sometimes it's like a dialogue thing where it's like, if you say the right thing from that list of options, you're able to spare the enemy, and you'll get gold but not experience. I'm a wreck. And then there's very clever twists on that. It's not just choosing the right option. Like sometimes you have to wait for the enemy to do something.
Yeah, it's not like your Mass Effect good and evil options where it's incredibly obvious which one is which. Right. You kind of have to think a little bit about what the enemy's doing and how that might correspond to an option that you might want to select.
Yes. It's also very fourth wall breaking in a good way.
Yes.
Yeah, and one character in particular knows about saving and loading and will kind of remember things you've done in previous runs of the game.
I was very pleasantly surprised by that.
Yeah,
when I encountered that in the game. I was like, wow, this is kind of badass.
Yeah, it kind of sneaks up on you, and then you're like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And
it plays with your expectations and blows them away.
Yeah, this is one of those few games that really does live up to the hype.
Yes.
It is remarkable in a lot of ways. I dare say it's one of those games I can't think of very many close cognates like games I've played like it, you know?
And aside from all that, the soundtrack is excellent.
The soundtrack is excellent.
Worth listening to on its own.
The writing is just hilarious.
Yeah, but don't listen to the soundtrack though if you haven't played the game, because some of the song titles, I believe, spoil events.
Okay, I didn't know about that, but the characters in it are all just excellent. There's almost no one who is unlikable. I do think the two skeletons steal the show, personally.
Yeah, they do, for sure.
I think so, yeah, because I've seen people say, well, my favorite character is this and this, so everybody's got like a favorite, but the two skeletons, I think, are just...
Like, if you were playing Family Feud, the skeletons would probably be the #1 answer.
Yeah. The demo for the game, they hint at the skeletons, and it's funny because in the demo, when they hint at the skeletons, I'm like, oh, these characters seem like they could get annoying. Goddamn was I wrong. They are so good. And again, the different ways you play them, like, the game, the characters react to you, like, wildly differently.
Yeah, your choices really do carry a lot of weight in what happens later in the game.
Yeah.
And even in subsequent playthroughs, which is amazing.
Right, because, like, because you did a neutral run, which means, like, you were mostly nice, but maybe in some of the random encounters you fought and killed monsters.
Yeah, so I purposely, like, avoided most knowledge, all spoilers about the game, and just went into it not really knowing how the mechanics worked, so... Like, I saw the act thing, so I'd kind of spare random encounters that would come up, but for actual bosses, I would tend to kill them.
Oh.
But if you go through the entire game, supposedly not killing anything at all, you get a quote-unquote true ending, is my understanding.
There's a tiny bit more to it, but there's like a couple extra things you have to do. But if you've done, it's called a pacifist run, where you spare everything. And I had played the shit out of the demo for the game, so that's what I tried for as my first playthrough. And then, I think it is kind of intended this way, like, you'll finish it, and then you'll get kind of a hint, like, hey, maybe you could have done this. You go back and do that, even more cool shit happens, and then there's, like, a different ending. And then I did I like to call it the piece of shit run, which it's...
Fight everything.
Right, the community is calling it the genocide run, and it kind of goes beyond fight everything, because you can actually exhaust random encounters in the game.
Oh, you can.
Which is kind of a neat... Yeah, if you are killing the monsters, your random encounter rate will drop for a particular area. And if you just keep doing it, they'll stop coming, and you'll start getting a random